I thank you for taking the time to listen to this incredibly important, necessary, and powerful message to both religious Jews, Orthodox Jews, and non-religious Jews or secular Jews. We know that we're all supposed to love each other and not judge. However, coming from the side of the non-religious Jews side or the secular Jews, they oftentimes judge the Orthodox Jews and say, hey, you represent the Torah, but you act like this and you do this. How is that the Torah? I don't need this religion. I don't need this way of life. I don't need to be a believer. And Orthodox Jews may unfortunately judge secular Jews. Oh, they are not following Hashem's ways. They don't know the truth. They're living a lie. Or really not judging each other favorably, and more importantly, not having the love between each other that Hashem really wants, and the unity that Hashem really wants. And I hope to relay ideas today given over by Rabbi Yisachar Franz according to the Parshat Naso. And I hope to be able to make it clear to us on how we're supposed to approach being a religious Jew, or how are we supposed to act being a non-religious Jew, meaning we're not there yet, we're growing, or we're secular Jews. So this message is for both, and I only hope to enhance the unity between us. So it says in Bamidbar, a man or woman that commits one of the sins people commit to be very faithless to God, that person shall bear guilt. What is an Orthodox Jew? An Orthodox Jew represents the Torah. However, they're still a person. So how are we supposed to really look at them? People tend to think of Hilul Hashem, which is a desecration of Hashem's name, as a transgression of major proportion. Oh, a religious Jew, you did something so horrible. You stole a lot of money, or you lied to such an important person. That's a Hilul Hashem. That's a desecration of Hashem's name. The Talmud tells us, what is considered a Hilul Hashem? And the Rav replies, if I were to buy meat and fail to pay my bill right away, that's considered a Hilul Hashem. But we can say, wait a minute, you're going to pay the bill. Okay, you didn't do it right away, but you're going to pay it. How's that a Hilul Hashem? And the answer is, the greater the Jew, the greater the potential for Hilul Hashem in his deeds. For someone of Rav's stature, all it takes to make a Hilul Hashem is a small thing like not paying the butcher on time. Many people look up to our great rabbis. They measure all the Jewish people and all of Judaism by the behavior of great people. Therefore, people of great stature have an additional responsibility to act with great care. Hashem's honor depends on what they do. The Rambam writes that not only a Tana, such as a Rav, but any great renowned for his piety, meaning any great person known for being righteous or being religious, who transgresses even slightly is guilty of Hilul Hashem. Whoa, that's a lot of pressure on an Orthodox Jew. But let's enlighten ourselves even further. If the people of his generation look up to him, he bears the same responsibility as a Rav in his generation, meaning an Orthodox Jew has incredible responsibility. He represents piety, religiousness, closeness to Hashem. People look up to him. But what about when he disappoints them? How are we supposed to look at them? First of all, Orthodox Jews must accept the tremendous responsibility that if you look a certain way, you cover your hair, you look like a religious Jew, you need to understand that you represent Torah, meaning you represent Hashem by people just looking at you. This is just the first level. Yes, we're going to continue further on to discuss why we shouldn't judge people, even Orthodox Jews, But we have to understand first and foremost that we bear this incredible responsibility in order to represent Hashem and His Torah. Rav Yaakov Weinberg continues. He suggests that in our times, every Orthodox Jew is considered a great person, renowned for his piety. So what do we mean by his piety? We mean for his religiousness or his righteousness. Whether we like it or not, whether we agree with it or not, millions of non-observant Jews see us from all over and see all of us as holy rabbis serving Hashem all day long, and they measure our actions accordingly. They say, that's a religious person, then why are they acting like this? Or that's a religious person, wow, that's an observant Orthodox Jew. That's the reaction we want to get. So this is a message to all Orthodox Jews first, and then I'm going to relay a message to all secular Jews or non-observant Jews yet growing Jews. So to all the Orthodox Jews, it does not matter if you're not among the great rabbis or if you are among the great rabbis. It does not matter if you are not a learned Torah scholar. It does not matter if you have many stringencies, such as you only eat from your own house or you learn Torah every minute you can get, every minute you can squeeze out of your day. Non-religious Jews don't know the difference. They don't know the difference between these stringencies. What they do know is they see you and they say, that's an Orthodox Jew. This automatically makes you a great person, renowned for your piety, for your religiousness. And this is a compliment. This is a responsibility. This is a privilege. This is an empowerment. Okay, so now a message to non-religious Jews, to growing Jews. The following message. Interacting with the outside world and non-Jews in our day-to-day schedule speaks volumes about how we act and how we are seen as Orthodox Jews. So, meaning, how do we interact with the outside world, with non-Jews, with secular Jews, with growing Jews? How do we interact? This speaks a loud message. As I said earlier, they don't know the difference between your stringencies. So, but they do know, wow. For example, number one, it's better to overpay, thank, and feed the cleaning lady than underpay and say, I'm only paying for you to clean. I'm not going to feed you. I'm not going to tip you. I'm not going to, pay you $5 extra because you haven't really cleaned the full time. It doesn't matter. This is an Orthodox Jew. We do more than expected. Being polite to the dry cleaners, even though they didn't do a good job and even though you paid for a lot of items. That's an Orthodox Jew. That's the reaction we want to get. And that's the reaction we want to give. The third one, greeting people at work, saying good morning, even if they don't say good morning back. And even if they're not so important, such as they're a janitor or a custodian, which are actually very important. Every person is important. But greeting everybody with respect, because every person is important. Example number 4. Making small talk with the cashier instead of being on the phone and instead of texting. Please, when you're out and about, stop with the phone. Don't be on your phone, because it speaks a loud message that you're not important. If somebody walks by, good morning, good afternoon, hi, especially when you're at the cash register. Make small talk. Thank the cashier for her for doing such a great job, for being so quick, even though she has so many customers, and she was so accommodating, and she was nice, and she even smiled even though she was tired. This is small talk. The phone says, I'm more important than she is, and she's a person, or he is. Okay, so being calm even though you're overwhelmed and stressed and you wish everybody would just disappear for a moment. Being calm no matter what. So that also speaks a loud message. We live in a world where depends on how I feel, that's how I act. So do we represent? An Orthodox Jew represents this behavior, that this is how we're supposed to act, and we are looked up to, and we want to be looked up to. So we want to be able to give over this incredible message as Orthodox Jews. Yes, it's a big responsibility. However, I'm going to touch upon a few points of my own right now. And I hope to enlighten us even further and fill this gap, this void of, secular Jews or growing Jews and Orthodox Jews. A personal story of mine is in the year 2000 to 2012, I tried to get into the Board of Ed, which I work in there now. And I tried to get into a school, and I asked some of my friends if they could get me in because they know me. And one of my very religious friends said to me, the principal doesn't want somebody like her, meaning like if she suggests someone like her, because she takes many days off because she celebrates the Jewish holidays. And she said, if I recommend you, she's going to know you're like me. So that's not the message that we want to transmit. We want to tell someone, yes, she's an Orthodox Jew. Wow, she's honest, she's on time, she's kind, she's accommodating, she can work well under stress. So this is, when we hear an Orthodox Jew, that's the message we have to send. And it turned out, thank God, that in the year 2013, I was hired in a job, and I said I'm an Orthodox Jew, and the principal, thank God, said so. And I'm there since, and it's 2021. So, you have to represent the Torah, the way of life. And the Torah is not a book. It's a way of life. It's the way we live. It's a blueprint to navigate this world successfully, truthfully, the way it's meant to be lived. Okay. So someone who mentions someone who's an Orthodox Jew should ignite only positive feelings. So I feel that knowing about the failings also and mistakes of great people, meaning Orthodox Jews, people who were great in our times, if we know their failings, their mistakes, it humbles them. And it also makes us feel like, wow, I can be like that. I can be great too. And that same thing goes for non-religious Jews or growing Jews. When they learn about the mistakes of people who are looked up to, then wow, they failed and they got up, and they failed and they got up. Like, wow, I can do it too. I thought they were born perfect. I thought they were born great. Personally, that's what I thought about religions before I started becoming observant. I felt like, this is just them, and now that's just me. And it's not true. A person can change. Change is possible anytime. I am possible. Remember, impossible is I am possible. By Audrey Hepburn. Okay, so secular Jews, I want to bring up this other point. Secular Jews tend to criticize religious Jews and rabbis. We have to remember that that observant Jews, Orthodox Jews, are just people. There are different types of Jewish people. There's people who wear certain clothes, have certain, attire, and this is not their costume, but this is the way they grew up, and this is all they know. And then when we see them make mistakes in life, and we see them do a Hillel Hashem, a desecration of Hashem's name, they lied in business, they did that. They're only people, and they do make mistakes. And we shouldn't judge them for the Torah, because the Torah is true, the Torah is real. But people are people, and people make mistakes. So I really want to bring out this point that it's so important that non-religious Jews tend to judge religious Jews as perfection personified, and that's not how it is. We weren't created angels. Religious Jews, Orthodox Jews are only people, and everyone has their own challenges. Okay. I heard a great rabbi, Rabbi Yaakov Menashe of blessed memory. He said something very interesting. He was giving a talk about wigs and how Sephardim women Sephardim Jews should not wear wigs. That's not the Sephardic way. And Ashkenazim are more lenient, or they have different, people they follow, different rabbis they follow, and so they wear what we don't wear. And somebody asked, listen, what about all those big Sephardic rabbis, and they have their wives wear wigs, and they're attractive wigs, and they're nice wigs, some are long, some are short. And Rabbi Yaakov Menashe of blessed memory said something very smart. He said, you think religious Jews, rabbis, their wives, their rebbitzins, their rabbanites, you don't think they have a Yetzer Hara? They also have a Yetzer Hara. They also have challenges. So they're only people. We shouldn't judge them for the Torah. The Torah is real. everybody else that's trying to follow the Torah are only trying with all their efforts, with all their circumstances, with all their tools, with the way they grew up. Let's not judge each other. Okay, so another point I really wanted to make is that religious Jews sometimes forget that following the Torah law overrides mistreating people. In other words, they'll be very stringent on the way they check for bugs, or they're very stringent on how much Torah they learn, and they're very stringent on not having a TV in the house, and very stringent on many things. Like these are humras or stringencies. But then again, it's very easy for them to mistreat people, mistreat their families, mistreat people they know, just because they feel like they're close to God. God doesn't really see you as close to Him if you're mistreating His children. And I want to say that's a very important point, because many people, many well-meaning Orthodox Jews focus on doing halachot, doing the, walking the walk, talking the talk, looking the way they look, but really not working on their relationships with their families and with other people. And this is not what Hashem wants. Hashem will never forgive you, never forgive a person for hurting another Jew, another person. That's not what Hashem wants. He doesn't really need you to follow everything He says, like keep Shabbat. Shabbat is for the person. It's not for Him. He can make anything happen. He can make the world go round and everything always shiny and everybody's salvations to come at once. He doesn't need you to follow a certain law. You need the law. We need Shabbat. We need the Torah laws for us to get closer to Him. It's not for Him. It's for us. But if we think, we're serving Him, but I'm mistreating my friend, my family member, my neighbor, that's not how it works. That's not what Hashem wants. And this is a message to Orthodox Jews, or those of them who are present to be as Orthodox Jews. We need to really work on our relationships and our internal lives. And this is a message to us women. We work so hard trying to make our family run. And some examples I want to share with you is that, we go out of our way to buy that expensive Kiddush cup, to elevate Shabbat, or to make challah by hand, or have a squeaky clean home welcoming the Shabbat Queen, but yet we're very stressed and angry with our family members, putting this one down, that one down. That's not what Hashem wants. He doesn't want that. He doesn't want you to do these mitzvahs and then hurt and wish that one to go away and this one to stop doing that. And you can make people feel small very easily, not because you're a bad person, but because you're making the wrong choice and you're not thinking at the moment. So we have to keep this in mind. Hashem doesn't want these mitzvahs if we're going to, mistreat other people, mistreat His children. One of my children related to me. They were in some kind of virtual class. This rabbi was giving a class. And one of my children said to me, Ima, Mom, guess what happened? The rabbi didn't know he was unmuted, and he yelled at his daughter or son, I don't know who he yelled at. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? And then he gave a class. And I said to my child, and I said, listen, he's only a person. He's still a Talmid Chacham. He's still a Torah scholar. He's still a good person. He's still a righteous Jew. He made a mistake. He's a person. It doesn't mean, gotcha, you're fake. No. He's a person. And that's how we should teach our children to look at others, both religious Jews and non-religious Jews. Okay, so I want to leave you with two practical tips, both to growing Jews or secular Jews, with the following practical tip, and also to religious Orthodox Jews. So to non-religious Jews or growing Jews, I would like to ask you to please, let's not judge religious Jews, but let us, when we see a religious Jew, let us to ask ourselves, how can I make better choices? How can I grow closer to Hashem? This person looks like they're close to Hashem. How can I grow closer to Hashem? Even if it means you don't look anything different, but maybe you act different and you think about your choices and make better choices. And for Orthodox Jews, excuse me, for Orthodox Jews, I'd like to ask you, let us remember that every action is observed. You know, every time you look at your phone, you look at the camera, you look at maybe cameras in your house. Every single time you see an electronic device, it means that data can be recorded. I'm always being watched. Eyes are watching me, ears are listening to me. Everything I'm doing is being recorded, and I'm a role model to others. So to tell yourself this affirmation, eyes are watching, ears are listening, I'm a role model to others. And in this way, we'll understand that every step we take is a representation of Hashem. Like it or not, we are being judged. Hopefully, people who hear this message will not judge the way they used to. Will give benefit of the doubt, will love, will forgive, will accept. And that's really the message I wanted to give over from appreciating the insights from Rabbi Fran on the Parsha. Hopefully we'll be able to love each other more, accept each other more, and enhance the unity in the world. Leah Abramov, being and becoming, awakening awareness of your greatness and potential.